Hello and welcome to Confused, So Are We.
We are confused.
We are confused. Our new youth podcast discussing some of the burning questions that our young people have. I'm joined today by the Associate Pastor Greg.
Hello.
The youth worker, youth leader here.
I think I prefer youth worker.
Youth worker.
In this context. And this is Toby. He's our church intern. He's focusing mainly in his practice with us in ministry on youth work and a study as well. But really, you're just doing any work that
Any work that's thrown
the church is needed. That's really cool. Toby, explain what we're doing here.
So this podcast chat is to discuss burning questions our young people had that we either didn't have the time to answer in our sessions or we just didn't know. And we've taken some time to think about it. We don't know the answers, but we will try our best.
With that, I guess when we first started talking about this, it was kind of daft to assume that we had the answers, because some of the very, very, very amazing and heavy questions the young people asked, we haven't got a hope of answering it. Some of these theological things have been discussed for like 2,000 years, and theologians haven't come to a good answer on a lot of them, or are still divided on some of these really heavy topics. So to assume that we would have any answers is ridiculous. But it's really interesting to discuss it, and I guess when we're talking, we'll read a question from the young people and have a chat about it. But really, we're as clueless as you. We are also on our faith journey, so we're discovering stuff every day, and we don't have the answers to everything. We will definitely say, this is what I think, so we can share our thoughts. That's the most you can hope for, really. And we might open the Bible and say, well, I'd go to this Bible passage because I don't think that Toby and I have any definitive answers. But we hope at least the discussion will help you as you're like chewing over those tricky questions. And if there's a question that's been asked and discussed, if you and your friends have been talking about it, or a friend's asked you, feel free to share this podcast with them, because it may be an interesting discussion starter for you guys as well.
Absolutely.
So, confused. So are we. I like it. It's good. Okay, that name's kind of growing on me now.
Yeah. So what questions have we got?
All right, well, I'll start with the first one. Okay. So, Toby, what did you want to be when you grew up? When you were 5. So as a little kid, what did you want to be when your parents asked you?
I think it was a good combination between pilot and policeman.
Pilot?
Yeah.
The policeman thing I knew about. The pilot thing is new to me. Like, was it airline pilot? Was it like a fighter pilot?
I think a bit of both. And before then, I just wanted to be an airplane.
Got a lot of arms out flying around the playground.
Yeah.
Wow. Pilot, that's cool. Why the police? What attracted you to the police thing?
I think helping people. I think for me that's because I enjoy talking to people. I can help diffuse situations in some way or another. So
cool, helping people
and driving very fast cars
with flashy lights.
Yes,
that's really funny. Yeah, sure, that's really cool.
What about you?
I actually don't remember the conversation, but my sister regularly reminds me and talks about how funny this was with my daughters now. When I was little, Mum had asked me what I wanted to be when I was older. My sister's 9 years older than me. So, she said you had a very funny combination. You wanted to be a policeman during the day, so snap.
Yeah.
What is it with youth workers and police
I know.
work? There's a weird combo. I wanted to be a policeman in the day, and I wanted to be a rock star at night.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna age myself a little bit here. So specifically at the time, I was making my sister play Chesney Hawkes, Too Many Broken Hearts in the World, on repeat. Like, he was a contemporary of Kylie Minogue. Have you heard of her? Oh, shut up, you're young. Okay, right, moving on. Yeah, so I wanted to be a rock star at night. I'm not sure it actually works that way around. I think they have probably have quite different life paths, rock stars and police officers.
I think you could have made it work.
I mean, if you're listening and you are a police officer who currently plays in a band, we would love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Drop us a line, drop us a comment, and we'll get you on the podcast. Oh, we should have said that. Like, in future, it would be quite nice to have a third person.
Get people involved.
Come visit and chat, and we'll pick their brains as well.
Get in touch with us.
So obviously, young people, thank you so much in our youth groups who writing the questions for us. We look forward to tackling those. We'll also say, if you just pop a comment on whatever medium you're listening to this on, and we will discuss the question.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we're open to pretty much anything, aren't we?
Yeah, we'll try.
Yeah, that's good. All right, cool.
Okay, let's get into some more faith-based questions.
Go on, Toby.
So, if God can see everything, why didn't he stop Adam and Eve from taking the fruit?
That's a really, big question. Yeah. why didn't God stop them? Oh, first things first, what kind of fruit do you think it was? Because the Bible isn't specific about apple. I don't know why it's always apple. Maybe there's a famous piece of artwork.
I'd like to think it was like
an apple.
maybe like a dangerous but enticing fruit, like a dragon fruit. You know how they're like a bit spiky but like really colourful?
You know what? I'd love if it was a dragon fruit. Yeah, you can pick those pretty easy by hand. I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember how big the trees are. I have seen them growing, but yeah, dragon fruit. Yeah. Anyway, so why didn't? Well, from now on, we'll discuss it as dragon fruit.
Yeah.
Okay. So why didn't God stop Adam and Eve eating the dragon fruit? That's a good question. Do you ever thought on that?
I think it plays with the free will. I think God wanted us to have a choice, so he gave us the choice. He wanted us to be able to kind of decide to follow him.
Yeah. So the concept of free will is probably a good thing to cover there, with your answer. So having a choice whether to follow or love God or not, as often the choice is a good way of him loving us, because if he forced us to love him, then that's not really love. So he wants to give us free will, is something we talk about, which is kind of free choice.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stop the phone from ringing because someone's calling me. Here's a bit for your blooper reel.
Yeah, so I think playing on the free will thing's really interesting. I think God knew when he put the tree there that Adam and Eve would inevitably eat from it.
Yeah, you got a verse in
I have
Genesis
got a
that we
verse.
already talked about. We talked about the questions for 10 seconds before we started, and there's a helpful verse in there.
Okay.
I can't remember what it was, actually.
I have them written down. Genesis 2, starting from verse 16. Then, the Lord God placed the man in the Garden of Eden to tend and watch over it. But the Lord God warned him, you may freely eat the fruit of every tree in the garden, except the tree of knowledge of good and evil. If you eat its fruit, you are sure to die.
Yeah. So they're given a rule to follow, and there's a consequence. So if you do this, you're sure to die. Hang on, at youth group yesterday morning, I think we got a follow-up question on this, didn't we? About one of the young people said about you're sure to die. The question was, what isn't that a threat? Like, and also didn't God lie because they didn't die?
Yeah.
Which is interesting. So that was yesterday morning. So
it was they didn't die straight away after.
Yeah, they couldn't kind of fathom. Understandably, there wasn't a literal consequence to the set. Well, there was, because out of the 4, they get booted out of the Garden of Eden. Yeah. But the dying part does happen. It just doesn't happen that day. So we talked about the idea that Adam and Eve would have been immortal, like like ever living. Yeah,
they would never have died
if they'd stayed in the garden. But death enters the scene when they make the choice. So they do. God's warning to them, and the consequence is very real. It just didn't happen like in the way that we immediately think, oh, he didn't die straight away.
It does go back. So throughout the Bible, like the Old Testament, we get the translation from Hebrew. Like we don't know when it said die, was it like you will die in the future?
That is like another podcast episode, actually. Let's open up that word and work out what it actually means.
Definitely.
It's always a good caveat to have, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
But no, I think, I'm pretty sure that God wanted to give us the choice. As a consequence to this, you've got a choice now to follow the rule or not follow the rule, to be selfish or selfless. And humans, as you and I would, always choose wrong things.
Oh, yeah.
Often. So God didn't stop them because he wanted them to have a choice. And because he loves us, and forcing someone to love you isn't really love. So that's kind of...
He loves us enough to make him a choice. And I think that's really powerful there.
Because it actually empowers us, which is a good thing. All right.
What have we got up next?
Toby, is it okay to kill bad people?
Wow, it's
that's straight for the
hot and heavy.
Okay to kill bad people.
I think this says something more about our youth group. The questions they're asking.
What, the moral crusaders? They're vigilantes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. That's got high risk.
Is it okay to kill bad people? I think we've got to think about context here, because it's not just the chap that's maybe stolen a Twix from the local corner shop. Like
it's killing people. Yeah. Although God sees all sin equally, but yeah, go on. Cool.
I think that's really interesting, because we think back to kind of world wars. It's soldiers weren't given a choice.
Okay. Yeah. So we end up in a moral conundrum where is it okay for soldiers to be in the army?
And they would have had to, at that time, face that choice.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
That's really good. I mean, I think when you get into I think we can have actually a whole podcast about.
I think you could have a year of podcasts about this.
on just war theory
Yeah.
and like serving kind of airmen and soldiers and people in the Navy, like, and their kind of rules of engagement and like, is it okay for them to engage in combat if they're Christians? And that's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
But I'd say for this one, I think that obviously someone being in the army, being in war is kind of a fairly extreme circumstance for most people, because I'm going to guess that like at least 90% of people in the world haven't been or aren't going to be soldiers in some way. So for most people, I'd say no to killing. Worth just touching base on what Scripture actually says. If you look at Exodus 20:13, you shall not murder. So
this is one of the 10 Commandments.
Yeah. So commandments are pretty clear. You shouldn't kill people. If you can zip forward a little bit, I always go to this. Jesus talking on the Sermon on the Mount. He clarifies that. He said, you've heard it said, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, but I say to you, even if you're angry with your brother, you have committed murder in your heart. Yeah. So even if you thought angry, kind of aggressive thoughts about someone, your head's in that space, the kind of the murder kind of thinking space. So Jesus takes the commandments to quite extreme lengths. So not let alone killing people, even being angry is a bit of an issue. It is a major issue for God. So unless you're in the army and there's some specific theological questions around just war there, I think for most of us we're not supposed to kill people. No. So killing a bad person. Actually, I definitely heard a podcast the other day where someone was discussing, would you kill one bad person to save 5 good people?
Oh, wow.
I guess a lot of action movies ask that question.
Yeah, oh, definitely. It's like that, the trolley theory. The
what?
Trolley going down the hill.
Okay.
And there's one person on the tracks. No, there's 5 people on the tracks, and the trolley's going to hit there. Or you can pull the lever, and it moves, and it hits one person, but you've intervened there.
Oh, wow.
That's a question that will be asked for eternity.
Yeah, but that's like a very heavy philosophical question. Yeah,
but it's kind of similar.
Do you make an immoral choice for the greater good of the 5 people? Wow, that's heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we don't have an answer for this question.
And this is all
People.
personal. However you think, we're just discussing and
totally.
seeing if we can't help you guys discuss
it. Yeah, but that's a really important question, I guess. Oh yeah, what the trolley questions are good on. What's the motivation? What's your motivation in stepping in and making this? Are you trying to save people? Are you angry with that person, so therefore you tried to kill them? Are you judging that they're evil, therefore they should die, and you're handing out the punishment? I think you
just got to sit and pray.
Just pray about it. Yeah. I think justice belongs in God's hands, not human hands in general. Although it's helpful that we have a law system and police and stuff.
Oh yeah,
but I guess for a kind of functioning society. But I think generally speaking, I'm going to try and not kill people. For me, that's for me. But
I think
God's pretty clear on that. So.
I think
good or bad.
As a general rule, trying not to kill people is.
Here's a question that's open. Do you think everyone is good? Do you think everyone is bad? How do you define if someone's bad or good? Like, how would you?
I think we all
divide that up.
Inherently have the ability to be good. Like every person on this earth can do good things. You can do a good deed. You can buy someone hot chocolate. Everyone can do that. It's because we have sin in the world. We choose, and it's like we sin every day, but that doesn't make us bad people. We just
that's a question that what does make us bad people? Because I was definitely impatient with one of my kids yesterday, and that wasn't a good action. So if I've done one bad thing, does that make me bad? I mean, doing one good thing wouldn't make me good necessarily in a lifetime of badness.
Yeah, I guess I think that's one of those things where it's not up to us to decide.
Yeah,
but what I can tell us is we go back to Jesus down on the cross for every little thing we do.
Yes, he covers all of it anyway.
Everything.
Well, in which case then, so with this moral question, you can remove the good and bad and just say, is it okay to kill someone? And I think for me the answer is no. I think there are some very extreme circumstances where morally people could argue there was a good reason
weigh it
for
up,
that.
greater good in some sense.
To stop something very bad from happening. But Yeah, I think killing in general is bad.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm gonna go for that.
Yeah.
For our young people listening, for 90% of them, this is probably never going to be a real.
Oh, yeah.
99% of them, it's probably never going to be a real life situation.
I mean,
anyway.
I think I know one or two that would become soldiers, but
yeah. So they have to face this moral question.
yeah.
Yeah, guys, if you take nothing else from this podcast, avoid killing people.
Oh yeah, just
there you
day
go.
to day.
There's some sound advice. If we've done anything good,
but we will absolutely come back to this in some sense or another at some point.
I mean, moral questions about life and death. This is going to be
yeah.
every podcast. We'll talk about this.
Here we go. Next
What's
one.
the next one, buddy?
The biggest question to ever say: what's the meaning of life?
I've got my answer. I'm curious to know what you think.
What's it? 42. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah, have you ever read or seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Watched the film. It's really good.
Right. Is it good? Oh, okay, cool. Why is it 42?
It's just the giant supercomputer said 42.
This is again aging me. I used to listen to the radio show. It used to be like episodes
Yeah.
on the radio. I think it might have even been a BBC thing. Other radio stations exist, but yeah, I'm not sure I ever got to that particular episode because I used to listen to it all the time, but I never.
Well, it was a film, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I think it started as a book. I think they
Yeah.
made it as episodes on the radio, and then more recently there was a film with Martin. Can't remember his name. He was Sherlock. He was very good. No,
He was also
Watson?
in
He was Watson, Benedict
Nativity.
Cumberbatch. He's a teacher in Nativity.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. Martin,
where I know
whatever his
him
name
from.
is. Yeah.
But
Someone drop a comment and tell us know what his surname
yeah,
was.
what
He
is
was
the
great.
meaning of life?
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Wow. Well,
You're going to hear it
I
here,
know-
guys. What's the meaning of life?
question answered. This is. Can I answer? This is the meaning of my life. Is that
yeah,
is that
by all
appropriate?
means.
Okay.
I think that's the best we can do.
Cool. I'm deciding whether or not to put my slightly larger glasses on. However, I think I'm already wearing them.
There's an
The
IT
printed-
crowd reference there.
This Bible I'm reading is the text is way too small. A really interesting question. Okay, I'm going to read you this from Mark chapter 12. One of the teachers of the law, it's like religious leaders in Jesus' day. One of the teachers of religious law had heard them debating. Noticing that Jesus had given them a good answer, he asked him, "Of all the commandments, which is the most important?" "The most important one," Jesus answered, "is this: Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God." Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this: love your neighbour as yourself. There's no commandment greater than these. So the two commandments he references there are love the Lord your God with everything you have, which covers the first four commandments about having one God, worshipping only him, and not blaspheming and keeping Sabbath. And the second one, love your neighbour as yourself, covers the next six about stealing, killing, adultery, all that sort of thing. So if people ask me, no one's ever actually asked me what the meaning of my life is. But if I end up in this conversation, I have a couple of times in my life, that's kind of where my head would go.
Yeah.
For me, like, it's to love God, and therefore, out of that outpouring, it's to love other people around me, whoever they are, whether that's someone who has been angry at me in the street, or whether that's
It's
kind
the
of
constant display of God's
one
love.
of my family members. Yeah, totally. Just so. Loving God and following His laws.
That follows
That's it.
into the treat your neighbour as yourself. It's treat your be godly, treat others how God would treat you, I guess.
Yeah, it comes to the golden rule. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, treat other people with kind of respect and love and grace. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever thought about it actually. I think that is really interesting though, the thinking that we display God's love throughout our lives. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, and that's the only decent purpose it's probably kind of why I wouldn't do any other job really.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this morning, and I was like, I couldn't see myself happy in many other jobs really, because I
Not
don't know
policeman, rock star, super.
combo. Yeah. Well, I think I'd enjoy those things maybe. I'm not sure about the policeman thing anymore actually.
Yeah.
That feels way too complicated. I've seen like an episode of like even like the highway police programs, and I'm like, that is very stressful, and people almost died. Like my work, that's not for me. I'm too soft. That's not for me at all. Maybe it's rock star, but then even then, like, you're pleasing people with your music, but like, what's the greater meaning? Whereas I get in my job doing youth ministry, I get to talk about this kind of stuff, like the meaning of life and helping people find purpose all the time. So I don't think I'd change my job. So for me, it's God all the way through. I mean, you can throw in some other stuff there about like family. I suppose that's part of loving other people, though, isn't it? the people you get given as family.
Yeah.
I think we've got time for one more, mate.
Yeah.
We've hit 20-minute mark there.
Yeah.
Can we ask the last one? Please?
Yeah, should we? How do people know how to pray? So,
Where did you learn? Well,
someone I learned to pray. So that was kind of the parents. For me, it was hands together, kind of
Nice clothes,
say.
yeah.
And I think it started with like before bed prayers.
Okay, I was going to ask you. Yeah, was it like kind of mealtime stuff? Was it like morning or like
I think
bedtime
grace
stuff?
for
or-
dinner and stuff. But it was. We went to a youth conference very recently, and this lady made a very clever point. She said, "I'm sure God would love to bless your food. I'm sure He does. I'm sure He
That was a
prays
really
you
good
have good
talk.
immune systems, but there's more to prayer.
There's more
than
important
praying
things to
for your
pray
food."
about. Yeah, she was going to like kind of shocked that for a high proportion of people praying for their
Just grace for food.
Well, being grateful for food's great, but like there's a lot bigger things. Like she was challenging us, like, can you have bigger aspirations where you want God to answer stuff?
So, in the Bible, Jesus pretty much He just answers it.
It's explicit.
Even
Yeah,
there,
how to pray. Yeah.
So it says in Matthew 6, starting from verse 8, "Don't be like them, for your Father knows exactly what you need before you ask Him. Pray like this: Our Father in heaven, may your name be kept holy. May your kingdom come soon. May your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today the food we need, and forgive us our sins, as we have forgiven those who sin against us. And don't let us yield to temptation, but rescue us from the evil one."
There's quite a
That's the
few.
Lord's Prayer.
Lord's Prayer. There's quite a lot of elements in that. So it starts with like praising God, acknowledging who He is. And that's kind of first commandment type stuff. There's stuff in there about your will being done. So like the way God wants things done for His good plans for our lives to work out. It touches on asking forgiveness, which is really important, reminding us to forgive.
Yeah, and it's
Other
open
people.
to interpretation as well. So He says, "Pray like this." So whether that's pray that exactly every time or pray like it is.
The categories He touches on are important. Oh, He prays for food though.
Yeah.
Give us today the food that we need. So He's asking for God's provisions. That's probably why people
Yeah.
say grace.
But it's pray like this. So pray against temptation, for heaven coming down to earth, for your food and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it covers a lot of topics there. So if in doubt, though, just praying that word for word, Lord's Prayer. We used to. Did you ever do that in primary school, in primary and secondary?
I didn't go to a Christian primary school.
No, neither did I. It was just a thing. No. Yeah, acts of worship in school was like a normal thing back in the day. They probably stopped that now. I think they have stopped it.
Yeah.
Now. Collective worship looks different now.
Yeah.
Assemblies look quite different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the Bible kind of answers it explicitly. How do Christians know how to pray? Jesus told us.
Do you remember your favourite assembly in school?
Favourite assembly?
I'll tell you what, while you think, I'll tell you what my favourite one was.
Okay.
It was when we had the policeman come in. That's probably why
there
I
you
wanted.
go.
That's why I wanted to be a policeman, because he'd come in and like talk about road safety.
Oh,
and he had his uniform on, and
I think I've got mine.
Yeah, I specifically remember that.
Yeah.
And we got to go look at his car and sit in his car.
Yeah, that
very was like the most exciting. He didn't let us put the siren on. It was like in the school car park, but we went down like a class at a time to look at his car.
That's very cool.
And he got to flash the lights, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
So that was the best assembly I ever had.
Every fortnight on a Thursday assembly, we had this lady from a local church to come in and she'd do some talks and stuff.
Was that in Cambridge, sorry?
Yeah, when I lived down in Cambridge, until she stopped doing it and my dad took over. And he did it.
Was that embarrassing or was that really cool?
No, it was awesome. My dad
school,
was talking at primary school assembly. I was the talk of the class. I think they were my favourite assemblies when he came in to talk.
Sweet.
I think.
my eldest daughter's in year 6 now.
Yeah.
And at the moment I'm like, when you come up like after Easter and start coming to youth group, like, do you want me to still be there? Like, or do you need me to not be around for you? At the moment, it was very much what you said. That's awesome. My dad's there. She's like so excited.
Oh yeah.
That she can come and be in my group. I imagine though, after like 2 or 3 weeks, I am going to be so embarrassing.
Well, you are already.
Exactly. But she's too young to realise that. But I suspect very quickly, I'm going to have to find a way of just making sure I'm not attending her youth group so she can have the space to grow, what have you. That's going to be an interesting phase of my my life. Embarrassing dad stuff. Anyway, sorry, waffling.
Well, I think we've reached our time now.
Spot on, Mum.
Please do leave comments, come and chat to
Yeah.
us in our youth group, ask us more questions, and we'll
Totally.
try and discuss them.
Yeah. If you've got follow-on questions, drop us a message, put a comment on it, however you listen to this, and we'll do our best. This is a trial. We don't know how this is going to go.
If we suck, let us know.
If you think short is good, or if we didn't talk long enough on each subject, or like anything, we need lots of feedback so we can know what we're doing. But we hope this is. Yeah, you often ask big questions on big question nights in youth group, and we just don't have the time to really dig into them. So we thought this would help honour kind of some of the questions you asked.
If any of your friends have big questions, feel free to show them clips from this. If they are asking any questions like that, please do.
And any questions that we haven't covered, send them in and we'll do our best to just talk about them.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, guys.
Confused.
So are we.